This is H-Town Kicks 713 coming with a new review of the first release of the KD6 Elite series for the 2014 year. The official colorway of the shoe is Photo Blue, Atomic Orange, Vivid Blue, Team Orange. Looking at some of the features on the KD6 Elite series, they do go with the dynamic flywire. This flywire is made up of the Kevlar material, so you don't have to worry about it breaking apart. Along the upper, they go with an engineered mesh type material. This material and design you'll see very similar to that of some of the 2014 Air Max units. The Elite series does come with as full-length zoom unit running around the midsole. Of course, the most noticeable feature of the design for this year is the exposed Air Max unit running along the bottom. And we take a closer look at the Air Max unit running along the bottom. You'll see it's designed a little bit different. It kind of has these rows and columns of these small pillars, and it gives a very different feel than the regular Air Max type of units I've seen on other units. If we take another look at another shoe running along that, the Air Max is like the LeBron 10. As you see, it doesn't have those pillars and rows like the KD6 Elite series. For me, the KD6 Elite series was not as comfortable as the kind of LeBron series, so it has more of a low court feel for it. And looking at the rear of the shoe for this year, I wanted to do some comparison with some other models. The one on the left is the Jordan 28 SE. The one in the middle is the previous year Elite series, the KD5 Elite series, and the one on the far right is the new KD6 Elite series. And the one thing I wanted to note is the one in the middle, the KD5 Elite series, was one of the best heel lockdowns I've ever felt. And the one thing that made it that way was two things. One is they had the carbon fiber running along the entire back, a continuous carbon fiber, where you look at the carbon fiber on the Jordan 20 on the left, they kind of split the carbon fiber between the two sides. It wasn't like a continuous one running along the rear. And the KD6 Elite series for this year, the one on the far right, they kind of went with this plastic molding. They gave the heel lockdown. It's still a good strong heel lockdown than just the regular type of shoe. But the KD5 was definitely one of the better ones and I've ever felt, so that one gives the nods for design from the previous year than to this year. And looking at the top of the shoe comparison between the KD5 and the KD6 Elite series, the KD5 on the top, you see there it's more of a narrow on the top, has more of a V shape, which kind of gives your heel kind of a lock-in place mode. With the KD5 Elite series, when you look at the KD6 Elite series on the bottom, it's a little more wider, so it doesn't have that same feel. So those are the kind of two differences between the shoes. And taking a closer look, details of the shoe. This is the front of the shoe. If you can see, we have the KD6 autograph of Kevin Durant on the front, and the very bottom also says the words "Seat Pleasant's Finest," and we'll go into a little story about that. And so I'm going into a little more details. On the back it says Big Chucky on the back. And looking at the top of the shoe, he has in the design, it is the number 35 at the very top of the tongue. So all those three elements, the Big Chucky on the very back of the shoe, the very front of the shoe has Seat Pleasant's Finest, and the number 35 at the top. One of the things I like about some of the KD lineup, he has a story behind him. And the number 35, if some of you don't know, is why Kevin Durant wears that number. His AAU coach, when he was very young, was killed. And the number 35 was the age of his AAU coach, Charles Chucky Craig. And that's why we see in the back Big Chucky to remember him. And also on the very front where it says Seat Pleasant's Finest, as we saw earlier, that's the place where he is from. So, kind of a nice story behind it. Nice to see Kevin Durant kind of remember the people that kind of brought him up along his way to his career. In terms of feel of comfort of wearing the shoe, one thing I did notice is the shoe felt very stiff. It wasn't as comfortable as the LeBron, so I was a little surprised at that with the Air Max unit running along the bottom. If we take a look at the shoe here, I try to bend it. It doesn't really give as much. It's pretty stiff running along the bottom, even with those two grooves you see in the very front part of the shoe. So that gave it kind of a different feel. And there was part of the forefront of the shoe was a little stiff. I was wearing the Elite Series type of socks, a little thicker sock. I went to more of a thinner sock, kind of loosened up the shoelaces so the flower wire didn't pinch as much in the front, and it felt a little better, but there still was a little tightness in the front part of the shoe than I felt on the other KD6 models prior. And just looking at the bottom soles of the shoe design, the KD6 Elite Series on the bottom, and just the, I guess you call it, standard KD6 model on the top, it's almost like a reverse type of design in terms of the way they did it. But in particular for me, I did like more the KD6 Elite Series. Did seem to have a little better feel of traction. So those are the difference between the twos on the soles. If you kind of want to accessorize your shoe for this year for the KD6 Elite Series, I did get the matching Elite Series socks with them. So this is how it looks. For me, the Elite Series was kind of a thicker sock, and it kind of made it a little tighter. So that's one thing to note, at least for my experience. But I do like this Elite Series. It does match real nice with the KD6 Elite. So some final thoughts on the KD6 Elite Series for this year. I do like the silhouette. I think the silhouette is a little more proportional than the previous models of the KD5 and this regular KD6 model. I think there's a lot of things they can do with the see-through mesh, different colorways that can make it really pop. So excited to see, hopefully they come up with some other designs for this year. In terms of comfort, that was the one thing that kind of surprised me. I thought with the Air Max unit running on the bottom that would have this amazing comfort. I didn't get that. I guess my expectations were quite high after wearing some of the LeBron 10 Air Max type units. But other than that, it's still a good shoe, a comfortable shoe. The price, is the Elite Series worth it? I guess when you look at some other shoes in this price range, you look at some of the Air Max units running, a little lower than this, and given this is a player's signature shoe, it probably runs in line with other Nike type shoes of this type, same technology and design. But overall, I do like the shoe. So let me know your thoughts, and I'll do it on my feet, and we'll take it from there.